starting a chapter from your Moments book in class 9, and in the Moments book we'll be starting with the first chapter, that is The Lost Child, written by Mulk Raj Anand. Mulk Raj Anand, the Indian origin writer, was born in Peshawar, Pakistan in 1904 and he died in 2004 in Pune. Right? He was an Indian writer but very renowned writer of English. So I hope you all might have read many stories of Mulk Raj Anand. So let's see today's story, what he is talking about. And as the name suggests, The Lost Child, which gives us a clear picture about a child who gets lost somewhere in the story. Right? So what is the story before he gets lost and what it is after he is lost, what happens to him. So that is what we are going to know in this story. So there was a small child, and one day during the spring season they were out for a fair. Fair is where you go for enjoying. But in today's scenario, what happens? There are very few fairs that are organized. Rather, we enjoy going to the malls. Yes? Yeah. And the children, if you take them to the malls, they are more than happy. You yourself as young girls and boys, you will also love to go to malls more than maybe I think you will be enjoying going to the fair. But here, the boy in the story, he along with his parents are going to a fair. Now the story will proceed forward on the basis what are things the boy sees on his way while reaching to the fair. Right? So the boy is a small boy and he is going along with his parents to the fair where he sees many things while he is on his way. And he is enjoying everything. So he sometimes when the father is walking, he becomes naughty, and what does he do? He tries to pass in between the legs of his father. Right? And then he starts laughing, smiling, giggling. But he is a small child, so what happens? He is distracted by the things he sees around. Right? Somewhere he sees a toy shop on the way. And then he stands there near the toy shop and he keeps looking at the toys in the shop. And he feels that he wants one of the toys. Right? So as a small child, what he does? He asks his parents to buy him a toy. And when he is demanding for a toy, many of our fathers, they are termed to be very strict people, right? We are scared to ask something from our fathers. But then the father, he stares at him in anger. All his eyes are red. So the boy gets a little scared and then he puts his head down. But as he is moving away from the shop, he keeps on looking at the toy shop till the time it does not disappear from his eyesight. And as we see small children around us, they don't remember things for a long time. They don't keep it in mind. They forget things very easily. They forgive people very easily. Right? So, this child also, he quickly forgets about the toys in the toy shop. Right? And he gets happy and he is moving with the thing and with the crowd that is also there going to join the same fair. So on the way he sees the toy shop and he doesn't get the toy, so he's a little bit upset and he keeps moving away from the toy shop but looking at the toys. So the mother, she's very delighted, maybe on the day because they are going to fair, so she doesn't want the boy to get upset. So what does she do? She tries to console him. She tries to shower her love on him and just pampering him and consoling him. She takes him away from there and she tries to distract him by showing the mustard field. And she says, see, look here. You see the mustard field, how does it look? It's looking as if the gold, the melted gold is all spread everywhere. And soon the boy forgets about the toy shop and he is attracted towards the mustard field. Right? And he gets happy to see those mustard fields over there, and he is happy. When he runs in between the field, he sees dragonflies, he sees butterflies and black bees. And what does he do? He tries to catch these insects. And as he runs behind them, and as when the dragonfly or the butterfly sits, he tries to go quietly near them and catch hold of them. But as soon as he reaches there and he tries to catch hold, what do? These butterflies and dragonflies, they flap their wings and they fly away. So fluttering their wings, they would fly away, and he would again start running behind them. In doing so, what happens? The parents, they move ahead. So they just turn back and they see, so they give a call to him. Come, what are you doing? You'll stay back, you'll get lost, so better come and join us. So he again runs and goes back with his parents. So now when they are again moving ahead, he is again attracted by something, and then he again starts looking at that thing, and again he is separated from his parents. So the parents have to continuously keep calling him and tell him, keep pace with us, means to be with us, otherwise you will get lost. Now they have all reached to the fair. Right? As they reach to the fair, then what does he see? He first sees the sweet shop. And his mouth is full of water. A small child. Obviously, when we go out as small children, they would get attracted towards him very quickly. So he sees the sweet shop and he feels that he wants to eat a burfi. Right? So he feels that he should be demanding for burfi from his parents, but then suddenly he remembers his father's stern eyes, angry look of his father. And then he feels, if I ask for these sweets, my parents would tell me you are becoming very greedy. Right? Everything, whatever you are seeing, you want it. So you better come. So he had a thought of asking for a burfi from his parents, but he does not ask. Rather, he moves ahead from the shop. But he is a poor small child. And as he moves ahead, what does he see? He comes across a flower shop. Now he forgets about this sweet. He now is attracted towards the colorful, beautiful, fresh flowers. And when he sees those flowers, he wants to have a garland for himself. What's a garland? Garland is a string of flowers. Right? Now that string of flowers he wants to have for him. And what he would do with that string of flowers? He wanted to wear it around his neck and enjoy the fragrance of those fresh flowers. So he feels and he thinks, let me demand for the garland from my parents. As he thinks of telling the parents, asking the parents for the garland, he thinks, if I demand for these flowers, then maybe my parents will say they are very cheap. Right? So he is again thinking whether to ask or no, and he avoids asking for the flowers also. This happens with us also. Many of you might have experienced this when you might have gone out either with your father, mother or both. If you demand for something, I am very sure sometime or the other you might have experienced this. They might have told you, no, why you want to buy this? Let's go to some other shop. Maybe they will find something better. And then from there they might take you to some other shop and finally end up without purchasing anything. Or purchasing something, but most of the time it will end up purchasing maybe nothing. So that is how he again left thinking about the flowers and moved ahead with his parents. Right? So now you see, he is such a good boy. He wanted to have sweets, but he did not ask the parents, and he already had his own explanation trying to and then he comes across a balloon seller, right? And he is fascinated, he is attracted towards the beautiful colors of the balloon. Right? He sees the red, the purple, the blue, the orange, yellow balloons, and he feels that he should have it. Right? But as he thinks of having a balloon, asking for it from the parents, then he thinks, if I ask for the balloon, maybe my mother will tell me, you are not so small now, you are a big boy. You are not in an age of playing with the balloons. And again that would be a denial, a refusal for buying a balloon also. So he does not even ask for the balloon. He is not demanding for the balloons also from his parents. Now this happens again. You can relate yourself with this small child, right? Sometimes when you talk something in between, or you try to speak something, or you try to ask for something, the parents will give an excuse or say you are no more small. The other moment when you hear this, okay, maybe some other time, you speak something in between, they will tell you, just keep quiet. You are not so grown up to speak in between or to talk something. You are still a small boy or a girl. So this is the dilemma. It takes a little time for children of your age to understand whether we belong to that grown up adult community or we are still in that small children group. That's a confusion most of the time we face. And I hope you all are really facing that. Yes, you can share the things with me whenever you feel like, if you have ever experienced this thing. Now coming back to the chapter, so he gets over to this idea of even asking the balloons from his father and parents, and then he moves ahead in the fair. Again he gets stuck. He sees a snake and a snake charmer. Who's a snake charmer? Is a person and he's got a round big basket wherein he keeps his snake, and in places earlier the snake charmers, they were very common. You could see them many a times near your house or in the fair or in any public gathering places like that where it is a source of earning income. But nowadays this has reduced, right? With so many laws for the animals and so on, the business of the snake charmer has nearly come to an end. That's come to an end. So he sees the snake charmer playing the musical instrument and luring the snake. It is believed that when the snake charmer, he plays his musical instrument, so the snake, what does he do? He dances over the music of the snake charmer. So he wants to stand there and listen to the music of the snake charmer. But then maybe sometime ago, when he might have been facing the snake charmer somewhere else, so he remembered what his mother has told him about the snake charmer's music. What did she say? That this is a very harsh music, right? And a child of your age should not hear to it, should not listen to it. That's not a good thing. So he again drops the idea of it and he starts moving with heavy heart with his parents. Now what all things we have seen, the child has seen coming to the fair, while coming to the fair and after reaching the fair, he comes across the toy shop, he comes across the field, he comes across a tree of flowers, right, where the flowers are showering down, and he tries to catch hold of those petals. But as the parents call him, he just forgets and let the flowers drop from his hand, and he again runs with his parents to pace up with them, to walk along with them. So from there he sees a toy shop. When they enter into the fair, he sees sweet shops, he sees flowers, then the balloons, and then the snake charmer. And as they move ahead, what does he see? He sees a roundabout giant wheel. Right? So, are you thrilled to go take a round in this? I love it. Right? So now he sees that all this time we see whenever controls himself and he tells himself that what would be the reply of the parents, and so he just avoids asking or demanding it from his parents. But now he is stuck here, right? He is stuck here at the roundabout and he doesn't want to care about what would be the parents' reply, right? Rather, here very boldly, without any fear of getting a negative answer, he demands, I want to take a round in the roundabout. Right? So he demands. And as he demands for it, there is no reply. And there is no reply. He is waiting for the reply and is already prepared. Maybe a positive or a negative reply, but then it strikes to him that there is no reply at all. So what does he do? He turns back. As he turns back, he is shocked. Shocked. Why? Because he does not see his parents. Okay? So I want you all that today, whenever you get time, I hope you will be getting time, surely you have to take time out, and I want you to read the story, right? Read the story so that next time when we meet, you are prepared with the story, you are prepared to give the answers when I ask you questions related to the part today that I have taught, right? So until then, stay home, stay safe.